So, joining me now on Tipperary GAA TV is County CCC Secretary Tom Maher ahead of the last round of games in the Senior Intermediate and Premier Intermediate Championships this weekend. And Tom, a feast of action this weekend, loads to look forward to, and maybe we'll just go through some of the games that are taking place today, Saturday. So if we start off in the Senior Hurling Championship, Tom, today, two matches at 3:45, Upper Church versus Tumivara here in Simple Stadium, and also at 3:45 in Littleton, it's Mullinahone versus Holy Cross Ballycal. So two very interesting games and a lot to play for in that group.
Lot to play for, yeah. Upper Church, I think, have qualified for the knockout stages as it is. Whether they'll be in second place or first place, I suppose, in the group is what we'll have to wait and see. But they're certainly in the quarterfinals. The other, I suppose, is a bit up for grabs at the minute, the other three teams. So we'll just have to wait and see how it works out there. But it'll be very important, I suppose, for everybody in every group to try and win the group, because it will avoid the chance of being in a preliminary quarterfinal if they ended up second in the group.
Okay, Tom, and we'll move along then to the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship, and today at 2 p.m. we have two games as well in the Group 1. Obviously both games taking place at the same time at 2 o'clock. Newport versus Sean Tracy's and Burgess versus St Mary's, and that game is in Boherland, the first game obviously here in Simple Stadium. Tom, another interesting group here as well. St Mary's on 4 points, Newport on 2 points, I beg your pardon, Sean Tracy's and Burgess on 1 point, so still a lot to go play for in that game.
It is indeed, yeah. If Newport win and St Mary's were to lose, they would go level on points to be 4 points each, and of course they go to head then to see who would finish first and second. And yeah, the Sean Tracy's have to gain as well. If they defeat Newport, they'll be in a preliminary quarterfinal or they'll be third in the group, second in the group, and well, we'll see then maybe a preliminary quarterfinal. It depends on how other games go. So yeah, everything is up for grabs in this group, yeah.
Also then at 2 o'clock today, Tom, we have Killadangan versus Silvermines in Nina, and Mine Templetooey versus Rossgray in Borrisolee. The Mine Templetooey Rossgray game, I suppose, that's a game maybe, Mine Templetooey have to win that game. Rossgray already top of the table with 4 points. You also have Silvermines on 2 points as well, so their game against Killadangan, an interesting game as well.
True indeed, yeah. I suppose Mine Templetooey, they're up against it, I suppose, really, in Rossgray, who seem to be flying it at the minute. The Sean Tracy, the Silvermines versus the Killadangan game is really an important game. Killadangan, I don't think, are off the bottom of the floor yet. If they win, they go up to 2 points, and I think they join Mine Templetooey on that if it's a thing that Mine Templetooey don't beat Rossgray, and it'll go down to a head-to-head in situation to see who goes into relegation and who stays in the Premier Intermediate, and maybe looking like it's going to be Silvermines with Rossgray. That'll be the two top teams there.
Okay, and also then the other game in the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship today is Carrigswan versus Cashel in Clonmel, and Clonakilty versus Portroe and Nina. Both those games on at 3:45, and also at 3:45 we have Killinall versus Turles Archers in Golden, and Ballina versus Gurtnahoogla and Goulin Borsley. So 4 more very important games for all those teams.
Yes, indeed, Gurtnahoogla are going well in that group there, and could cement their place maybe in a quarterfinal later on. Killinall also are doing well. Turles Archers maybe not doing as well as they might have hoped to be doing, but they're still in the running there for a place as well, and it's all to play for in that group as well. A lot of teams are playing for either trying to get up to the top of the group or keep away from the relegation zone. So yes, a lot to play for there as well.
Okay, Tom, sorry about that. And also then we move on to the Intermediate Hurling Championship there. Today at 5:30 then we have two games, Ballingarry versus Capawhite in Golden, and Ballybacon Grange versus Moneygall in Littleton. 4 points there to Moneygall. They're really going well this year. 2 great results in their last 2 games. You have Ballingarry and Capawhite on 2 points each, and Ballybacon Grange then on nothing, and they'll be looking try and at least get 2 points from their last game.
Yeah, they will, and that will put them in with a chance of maybe staying in that competition for next year. It'll be tough on them, all right. But Ballingarry are a team who I expect will take a result and maybe get into the playoffs there. You'd imagine that they're good enough for that, really, because they have been senior there only a couple of years ago. So I'll expect that they will get up there. But after that, then there's a lot to play for the rest then.
Yeah, so that's it, Tom. That's our games for today. I was going to say the weather is not too bad, but it's after taking a turn for the worst here since we started talking for some reason. Whether that's a signal to both of us to shut up maybe and let the hurling take place. But thanks very much, Tom, for talking to us here today. And of course, we will tomorrow evening have the draws for the preliminary quarter-finals. Obviously, there's definitely going to be preliminary quarter-finals in the Premier Intermediate, and there may well be a number of preliminary quarter-finals in the Senior Hurling Championship as well. So we'll bring that to everybody as soon as we have them tomorrow evening, and something to look forward to also. So again, Tom, thanks for talking to us here today on